still don't understand where they're coming from.
I win.
When we last left off, Phil and I had been working hard to tie up the plumbing in one half of the second floor, finishing with the last goofy and tricky section in the upstairs hallway in the wee hours of the night. Wee enough that we didn't try to hook up the system to the boiler right away, but instead waited until the next morning.
Well,
It's done. Now, do we have leaks? We'll see.
oh, that's a wet basement. We're gonna have to find a name for the river that's running through the middle of our basement.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Name for the river?
Yeah.
Uh,
No pressure.
mud flow.
The Mudflow River. I mean, fair enough. All right, game plan for today, right now.
We need to connect the upstairs zone to one of those two valves, depending which one we choose. Run the PEX to that copper pipe, and the return line to where it starts at the other end there. So long PEX to the bottom, and then copper to the top. And then we'll have heat upstairs.
In half.
A bit more.
All right, let's do it.
I tighten this. Need to install the valve on it. Okay, come here.
Alright, so everything is all hooked up. Seems to have gone well so far, but it's a little too early to tell. Like, it's going to take a little while for the system to fill up and kick in and like really get going. So fingers crossed everything is going to go well, smoothly. We're going to have a nice toasty warm night tonight. It's going to be really nice to have a warm bedroom to sleep in. So seems to be going well, but I will do my best to check back in with you at the end of the night, maybe the end of the video, let you know how it is going and if everything worked as well as it seems to. Then we moved on to a little outdoor cleanup / damage assessment after all of the snow melt and rain that we'd been getting and the consequent roof leak and water in the house.
No wonder we have leaks.
Fun. Those look like a previous batch of shingles. They don't match the new ones.
Well, storm window that did not quite survive the wind and the winter and the 100 years old of usage. It's probably restorable though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, save it.
A bunch of the storm windows don't have glazing anymore and only the pick, the metal retainers
Yeah.
holding the glass in. Like the other side of this, there's no more glazing anywhere. So as soon as, you know, yep, there we go.
Careful. No, but it's definitely restorable for sure.
We also had a local roofing company come by to give us a quote on patching the roof. So after they walked around the property and surveyed the damage, they gave us a quote for just the patch job, and it came in at roughly $1,500. Now, we weren't sure if that was going to be worth it. Should we just throw money at the problem? Should we try to fix it ourselves? We weren't sure, so instead we do what we often do, which is we took a walk with the dog to just marinate on the situation. Corgi. Oh, what an absolutely lovely day that was. Such a great walk. It is gorgeous outside. It is like the perfect temperature. It's cold enough that there's still plenty of snow on the ground for the corgi to roll around in. That is what she loves more than anything in life, is to have her stick and a pile of snow and just be like rolling around. But it was warm enough that we didn't have to bring our winter coats. Like, I just was able to go out in this toasty vest, and yeah, that was amazing. Really good day. I honestly think it's fall spring. I think it's probably the temperatures are going to go back down fairly quickly here, but I'm taking advantage of it for the time being. So I don't think that we really had any epiphanies on the roof or the house in general, but one little bit of good news is that we swung by the pet store on the way home, and I got Canelle this. This is a new food bowl, and I've been wanting to get her this for a while. Finally got it, and yeah, so I think we're gonna try it out. We're gonna go grab the corgi, and we're gonna go have some puppy food. Okay, so this is the bowl in question. Now, if you have been on the channel for a while, you'll know that she is usually a free range feeder. We'll just throw her kibble on the floor, and you'll have seen that multiple times. However, here at the house, I had a little bit of concern about the lead paint, because as we can both guess, the most of the paint in this house probably is lead paint. It's some layer. It's some layer of the trim and such. So I was a little bit worried that there was lead paint in the ground, and so I've tried a few different ways of feeding her that was not free range and was also not just dumping her food in a bowl, because she will snarf it down in 0.2 seconds, and I am sure that is not good for her digestion. So tried a couple things. This is one of my favorite ones, just making her snuffle through a yoga mat. That was a good one. But when I was at my parents' house, they have one of these for their dog, and we tried it out, and it worked really well. So just going to use it, see if it how it plays out, while we talk a little bit about today's sponsor, which is once again Finn Dog Products. Just give that a good shake there. Perfect. Okay, so on my last video where I worked with Finn, somebody pointed out that just because I can pronounce an ingredient does not necessarily mean that it is safe or good to give your dog, which is a very fair point. So allow me to clarify. For example, in their Pumpkin Plus, which is really great for their digestive health, you have pumpkin powder. There's psyllium husk apple pumice, a sweet potato powder, blueberry fruit extract. So both easy to pronounce, natural, great to give your dog. So we're just going to dose this out here, sprinkle it on top of her food, and then finally allow her to eat it after she's been so patiently waiting. Can I? Okay. Now, I've been using their Pumpkin Plus for a while now to boost her digestive health and to help regulate her digestion, let's just say, because all it takes is one scoop for better poops. But yeah, they have a good product, they have proven results, they have sustainable business practices. So if you would like to support their company and my channel, you can go check them out. I have a code that'll get you 15% off of your first order, and if you want to head there super fast, you can scan the QR code that should be on screen right now. So thank you so much to Finn for sponsoring another video, and boop the corgi. Boop. Now, we had a lot of things to do, a whole grocery list of tasks that we wanted to accomplish before we had to leave the house again. So we decided now would be a good time to take some time to sit down, list everything out, and go through and prioritize them.
Okay, let's just list down everything that we can think of, more or less. So, massive problem, the roof.
The roof is losing many shingles and is leaking water at least 4 places.
Heating, second half.
Heating, second half. It's going to go faster than the second half.
Fingers crossed. Grading and drainage.
For that to happen, probably a container and empty the basement. Or metal dumping runs at least. Eventually a new roof, because it's going to keep happening.
Do we want to try and order these things at all? Like,
we need a ladder. We need a ladder for the gutter, for the rain that's coming in.
Fix gutter.
Yeah. The rain that's coming is going to be less bad than the whole snow melted that we had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to be less quantity.
But it's going to be worse for our roof. Better for our basement, but worse for our roof.
Yeah. Drainage is probably better to do when it's not actively raining. Because then you dig and it makes mud and, you know.
Well, and we need to empty the basement out before we can do the French drain. Or it's going to make our life so much easier. So priority-wise, heating and roof are at the top. Gutter fix. Okay, it seems like we should just stop everything and focus on the roof right now. Because everything else is like, doesn't have a strong priority. So the consensus is the roof has priority because it's raining in 2 days and we're missing a lot of shingles.
So we need shingles, waterproofing, silicone, and a ladder.
Stat! Hi, what's the longest length ladder you have in stock?
28 feet.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
That is definitely not long enough to get to the top of our house.
I have to wash this.
So that's why we make phone calls to save ourselves time. Hi, what's the longest length ladder you have in stock? Perfect. And can you give me the
Class 2 as well.
price on those?
The Class 2, which is the weight rating of 225 pounds, is $624.99.
Okay.
And then the Class 1A is $979.99.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ouch! So we went to check out the ladders in store, and basically a ladder was gonna run anywhere between $600 and $1,000, which, I mean, it's not cheap, but in the grand scale of renovating a house, it's not the end of the world either. We would use it a lot. We have so far used a ladder quite a bit since we got the house. We just keep borrowing Mike's ladder, and he has been an absolute champ and so nice, and he just keeps letting us borrow his ladder, but we feel bad every time. We feel like we're constantly imposing on him, so we've had to borrow it so much, we're thinking like maybe we should buy our own. We probably will. If it's not now, we will probably do it in the future, but we're gonna text Mike and just see how his schedule is, if it would be convenient for us to borrow his ladder in the next couple of days. Plus then, as we were trying to make up our mind on this, we also went on Amazon and put things in a shopping cart to see how much it would cost for all the proper fall protection and stuff. And my cart currently is totaling $364.32 after tax, which means that if you would split the difference and say that a ladder would cost, let's say $800, total bill still comes out to just under $1,200, which is cheaper than the roofing company quoted us. And we would finish with our own ladder and our own fall protection, and we'd probably even have shingles left over, honestly, because I don't think that we would use up an entire pack of shingles on this patch. So that is what we're gonna do. We are going to fix our own ladder. We're gonna fix our own roof. I'm gonna place this order on Amazon, which, and let me preface this by saying that I do not love Amazon. I try to avoid using it whenever possible, but it was literally half the price to buy this stuff on Amazon as it was in store. So we're using Amazon, and we are saving a bunch of money and, gonna have our own tools and equipment, but it does mean we have to wait for it to arrive. So I guess we're just gonna have to find something else to keep us busy. I guess it's time to whip out that prioritized grocery list of things to do around the house that we just made.
This might fit, but we can also cut it.
I'm okay.
Sorry, when you have in pain, try to yell less, like you're laughing at the fact that I'm bending it.
It just really
I
hurts.
really thought you were laughing. I was like, ah, it's not that funny, but sure.
Oh, it hurt.
You okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. Itty bitty cutesy one. Look at how much this one is just completely exploded from when the pipes froze over. It's pretty wild.
Yep. Ouais.
Yeah.
So strong.
So strong. Strong like bull. Shiny. Insert some joke here about someone losing their marbles.
But how?
Yeah, I don't know how. It's a mystery to me. Finally! Well, it might have been a complete pain in the butt to cut, but look! We were rewarded for our travels. Oh, there we go. Now it's focusing. Found 2 more marbles. We still don't understand where they're coming from, like how exactly they're stuck in there.
They were in the pipe. They were
But it's so cool. So now we got 3. Is that enough to play a game of marbles? 3 marbles?
Sure.
Sure. Gonna go add these to the collection.
You shall not rust.
So how much do you think we're gonna make?
$90.
I was going with like 7 or 8.
No, more than that.
Let's see.
More than that.
$7.63.
I'm going. Real guess, maybe 51.32.
We're on the record. Let's see who's closest. I mean, I hope it's Phil. So as a reminder, while Phil chats with the sales lady, here were our predictions on what the total bill was going to be from this metal haul.
$50.75. I win.
Well,
$50.75. Cash. I win.
dang it, that's good though.
We're rich!
Where's our Monopoly money?
Where's our Monopoly money? Canadian pesos. So they take cast iron, like we just did. They take old boilers, water heaters, the standing kind, copper. They take everything, different price for different metals. But we'll be back here because we have a lot of things to throw away still.
Cash money! Definitely
We might not be rich, but it's definitely better than paying money.
To throw it away.
To throw it away at the dump.
Yeah. Even if it would be free to drop it, it would be better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I would call that a rousing success. It was a lot of fun. It was fairly profitable. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to cover the cost of the roof repair, for example, but it was a heck of a lot more than the measly $5 that I predicted, and it was also kind of fun. So, we have some more metal in the basement that we will continue to take it to the scrapyard when we can. We just didn't want to overload the car. But yeah, basically, with the rest of the day, I think we're just going to tackle some little winterizing and insulation improvements here and there while we, wait for the roofing supplies to arrive. This is one of those like little ticket items we had put on the list where, if we had a few hours here and there, this was the kind of thing that you can just it's a little bit open-ended. You can tackle it, eat away, chip away at it slowly. So that's the plan for today. We're going to get out the insulation, get out the carpets and the curtains, and slowly try to make this place a little bit warmer.
That's more than it looks.
Wait, what was that, Phil?
It's a grower. It's not a shower.
Now, for those of you who enjoy some insight into the whole timeline shenanigans of this operation, you can actually see here from my cheeky little cameo that today was when I filmed the very first house video. I think I called it Shannon Makes Is Changing. That's the video where I announced to everybody that I had bought a house and would be adding renovation content to my channel. So all of that work, literally everything that you have seen on my channel, every video that was house related, with very few exceptions, had already been filmed way before I told anybody that I bought the house. With the exception, of course, of my patrons, who I told right away. They were able to see a bunch of photos of the house before I had even, stepped foot in it. They got to watch my realtor's virtual tour of the house, the one that sold me on purchasing this listing. So if you are interested in joining and becoming a Patreon, I just thought I should mention it. I hesitate to do so because I know that these are crazy, wacky, very challenging economic times. Trust me, I'm trying to renovate a house in the middle of this situation, so I am well aware of it. But I also had a couple people join in the last week that said they would have loved to join sooner, but they didn't know I had a Patreon, and it's true, I haven't mentioned it in a while. So I just wanted to briefly pop in here and mention it and say that if you are in a position that you would like to support the channel, or if you're just really impatient and you want way more up-to-date videos that don't have the basically year delay that these videos do, then that my Patreon is a great spot for that. I do monthly vlogs. They're really fun and casual and just way more up to date than this, show you what's going on in the house at the moment. I do blog posts. I sometimes run little activities. Last winter we did a winter holiday fabric stash swap for people who wanted to exchange fabrics. That was super, super fun. So it's just basically has a little community there where we can discuss the house in a little more in depth and a little more up to date as well. And if you do not want to support the house project, if you're not interested, you're like, Shannon, I'm just here for the free videos, don't worry, you can continue to enjoy the free and highly edited videos that I put out every week that you have been enjoying for almost a year now. So massive thank you to everybody who watches, who supports me just purely by clicking on the video and enjoying it. If you really want to boost the channel, you can share it to some of your friends who you think might enjoy cheerful house renovation content with a touch of corgi. That is probably the most helpful thing that you can do, that has no financial connection to it. Just share the video, get it out to as many eyes as you think would appropriately enjoy the content. So that's that spiel wrapped up, and now we can get back to the more fun stuff, the house renovation stuff.
Friends, it's amazing. It is so amazing to be able to sit up here in my bedroom after a long day of work and just be tired and full, and then come upstairs to the bed and be able to relax and not like have my shoulders up to my ears because I'm freezing. It is, it's so relaxing, and I'm so happy that we got this heating installed, because until this very moment, if I wanted to come up to bed and work on something, whether it was, some knitting, or I also, maybe do some reading, I had to have our little space heater, and I would set it up on the trunk right next to my bed and have it blowing hot air onto my hands, and that was the only way that I was comfortable enough to keep my hands above the covers to work on any of this. So it is so pleasant and enjoyable right now. I'm so happy. I am that bug in that rug that is so snug. And so I think I'm just going to keep chugging away, working on this right now. It's a fisherman's sweater. You can see the color is not very accurate on screen, but this is the front. I've already got the back and one of the sleeves done. So I'm going to continue working on that. And then if I get bored of that, going to keep on working on this book. This was another one that I picked up on one of those free little libraries. It looked kind of intriguing, but I didn't have very high hopes for it. And so far, I've actually been very pleasantly surprised. So maybe gonna give you a little review of this one at some point in time. But for now, I'm just gonna turn the camera off and relax and be warm. And I'll catch you sometime tomorrow for even more work on this house. Bye. Swear to God, this man is trying to put my blood pressure through the roof. Gap your buns!
No.
Oui.
Oui.